camera lump. Oh. Cats, stop being underfoot. Let's knock some things over. Let's make sure that's good. Oh, cotton. Let's get the chat going. He's live. There we go. Let's go all chat. Or live chat. No, it shouldn't be offline. Last stream live 14 minutes ago. I don't think so. There we go. Top chat, no. Live chat, yes. Good. I can see everything. Balloons. Let's do that for now. That should be a lot easier to view. Oh, okay. Ooh. Yeah, no kidding, RazDoc. We're gonna prototype this. I'm probably gonna fire that up first, mostly because I just have to mache a balloon to start, and that's no great challenge. But I do have a couple of different types of balloon. I really wanted round balloons, but I couldn't find that specific type. So we're gonna see which type works. I have ordered a whole bunch of 6-inch beach balls for future cracks at this project. And effectively, we're gonna make the screw up one tonight, because the first one is always not what you want. So, prototyping, yay! I'm still looking forward to it. Unfortunately, my monitor is not up, so I can't stream on Twitch as well, which is a bummer. I was wanting to get on that, but why did I recork it? Jeebus. The whole reason for pulling the cork out was to get some out of the bottle. By some, I mean a lot out of the bottle. A whole lot out of the bottle. Oh. This stuff is the crown jewel of things I like. Alright, I've got to get that fan at least on low. Slide that around. Majesty really wants to be underfoot tonight. Really badly. Okay. And now, finally, let's start on this orb. Oh, okay. Let's get some strips out of the strip box. Oh. bowl full of paste. More strips. More strips! Oh, that's a lot of strips. Whole honey bunches of strips. I'm very glad I have these pre-made. These are really thick. These must be leftovers from school projects that I reappropriated. Kids usually tear their strips quite thick. There. Now let's see what kind of balloons we get. Halloween, so we'll start with an orange one. I may try throwing some music on the stream later. Just the stuff that I believe is YouTube safe. Let's see if it gets flagged, shut down, or demonetized. Not that I expect to make a fortune off of these, I just like having people to craft with. Let's clean these ugly goopy glasses first, too. Sam, why every night? You're going to be very disappointed again, Puss. Alright, it's about as big as I want it, and it is relatively spherical. Let's call that Chi-Warby. That'll be spherical enough for crafting purposes. Half-size starter strips. Using a full thickness paste. Which reminds me a lot of doing it on the beach ball. Let's get prototyping. I think smaller strips would be better. These are bending, something fierce. We need a lot of wrinkles in there. I want the structure for this to be relatively stable and strong. Of course, this is the prototype. This is the screw up. Here, hold on. Thinner strips. Hey, Twisted, how you doing? Yep, we're gonna start the Witch Orb prototype tonight. Oh yeah, that is much better. Just don't want strips on this to be more than 1 inch wide. They're going to fold. Make a less secure design. I was also really hoping to be cross-streaming onto Twitch tonight, but the converter that I ordered for my monitor did not come in. Well, it wasn't the right size. I didn't look well enough at the plug. So your text is going to be small, and I'm going to be peering at it just like last time. Oh dear. Yeah, most pups do not like to take their meds unless you put them inside steak. Sometimes even then. I still hope the little guy's doing better. Cats don't like to take their meds either. I can't think of a pet that does like to take its meds. So start this up now. It's going to take an overnight to really dry. Oh, North Wolf Board. Oh yeah, you better believe there's a new project. Is that my amigo from Syracuse under that name? Or am I mistaken? The one and only. Fantastic. Well, I got news for you then. This year we're going to have witch bottles for the table. And they light up. And hopefully I'm going to do that same effect. Yeah, glowing water. I'm going to do that same effect to these orbs. So we will put these around for a light sources so we can take the old screaming lanterns and give them a rest for a year or reallocate them. This is going to seriously witch up the scene. It's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. And as you can see, I've tried to get it streaming because, well, that's fun. Yeah, no kidding. Be able to walk around without, help me, save me, Hey, Mudflap, how you doing? Hand's getting goopy. Why am I complaining about that? It's obvious. It's paper mache. Of course it's going to get goopy. How is life, Mudflap? This is just intolerable. When I did the beach ball pumpkin, I did it one hemisphere at a time. East Texas oil field, not bad. Is it true that my father once tried to get me to move to the, can't remember which oil field it was somewhere in the Dakotas. They opened up a new oil field. Dad was like, you gotta get yourself out there. You're making some money. Is it true that oil workers make a good living? Oh, it's so good. Oh my God. Not bad at all. I guess there was some merit to what the old man said. Just make sure you're paying attention to your job, though. I don't want a big pressure explosion. They're dragging you out of the wreckage, and all I can say, what happened here? What happened? Guy, YouTube, Halloween. What am I drinking? Well, it rhymes with slack mule. And if any of my students ever watch this, it's blackberry juice. Hey, Chris. How's life? It's going pretty good, honestly. Halloween projecting it up. Trying to prototype the newest idea. Then later I'm going to finish up one of the older ideas. Everybody's off at Kensick this week. Actually, no, this is land grab week. But you can't enjoy it if you have an oil pressure explosion. I regret nothing. I got some sweet ideas. Woo! Good times. Kind of wondering on the time frame of how long it's going to take to make one of these completely. Of course, there's the alternative. Mr. Mudflap, we've had to remove your left arm. Sweet! Can you put, like, a big evil-looking rusty hook on it? Yes, I suppose we can do that. And give me a cool pirate hat. Take off one of my legs, too, so I've got a spooky limp. He's insane, I'm afraid. You know, Haunter is about the only people I can think of who might do that. It's really bad, Mr. Johnson. You've lost an eye. Can you put an LED in there for me? In like a glass eye, so it's like glowing and it looks really scary. Yep, he's a haunter. Da, 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 da. So at any rate, by Tuesday I should have my big monitor in here with a little luck. It'll be a lot easier for me to see chat. And depending on how things go, I'll start streaming on Twitch as well in their creative channel. The only thing that worries me about streaming on Twitch is it's a gamer audience, and I really don't want some 15-year-old coming in here and start throwing around bits of verbal nonsense, and I have to get up and walk to the other room to boot somebody. I'm not hugely worried about that, because largely the Mache community is amazing, but still. Humans being what they are. Could always assign some moderators, I suppose. Oh, fantastic. I have long been toying with the idea of putting some black light sigils on the tombstones, and I'd want to have a kind of a fade in, fade out black light on it, so from time to time it lights up, and what's on the tombstone suddenly also gets a whole bunch of creepy witchy glyphs on it, and then it fades back out. Nice, Chris. There's a ton of really talented folks on there. Really, really talented. Which is why I want in on that action, damn it. Whew, not too bad, Mr. Caroline Hunter Chris. Not too bad at all. I had an earlier disappointment with my monitor VGA adapter selection, which is why I'm not on Twitch tonight as well. But, the right one will come in Tuesday. We'll get it then. I'm in no rush. All these projects are going to take a little while. I don't know if I want to let that dry or start upping the layers now. I'm thinking I'm going to start upping the layers now. The funky thing with this project is it's not going to be layered everywhere. I'm wondering, should I take 4 things down? Should I take 6 down? Because we're going to have open apertures throughout. Or maybe layer only like 3 layers and then put the goobers on and then cut out anything that's not part of the goober effect. That way the open areas can be as absolutely crazy as they like. I'm thinking that's probably the best idea. And then around all the goober branches, we can just add a little bit more branchy effect. That's probably going to be the best choice. So let's do that. Let's throw 3 on. Let it dry. The downside of this, of course, is it means lots of layering, which is the most fun part of paper mache. Yeah, I think that's the only way to go, Twisted. Or it's the most logical way to go, at least. It should net the best results. And with hemispherical layering, then I can get the best coverage on it. I think the next one I will do a top section, then I'll do a bottom section just like a pumpkin. But I'm not doing 6 layers, I'm just going to do 3. Because if I cut through 6 layers to get to the goobering, it's almost going to tear itself apart. It's going to be bad. I do not want bad. Might be able to do it with a Dremel without as much structural haranguing. You know, the balloon method's fine. I've done the beach balls before, and this is pretty much exactly like doing them. I was a little worried that I would not get a spherical enough shape from the balloon method. I thought I would get a little bit too much of the teardrop, but obviously if you don't blow the balloon up all the way, you don't tend to get the teardrop shape. And I want these things to be kind of maybe just a little bit larger than palm sized. Though I do have 6 6-inch beach balls on the way. So, God forbid I could sit down for some evening and just layer away, get them done. I also have 4 of the punch balloons, which I got just in case I didn't like these, because those are always very spherical in their configuration. Very, very spherical. Still can try them. I probably will. This is all prototyping. I'm going to screw up about 4 of these before I come on the perfect design that I like. I'm going to find at least 3 ways to do this faster. And then I'll make a video. Because that's what we do. Whew. By the time I finish this, though, I'm going to want to get onto the witch bottle. The only thing I don't like about mache is layering. It's easy to do, but it does not take any kind of inventiveness, brain power, or creativity. I wasn't using anything for a form before, Chris. I was inventing this idea. For pumpkins, the previous form has been a trash bag stuffed with crumpled newspaper. But I'm a beach ball man now, because the insides are smooth when you finish them, and it is a lot better. Monstrous amounts better that way. Oh yeah, this will work. This will make you a hell of a big glass, well, not glass, but big sphere if you want it that way. I once had somebody ask me questions about large Christmas balls. That was a while ago. Long time ago. On a video far, far away. No side wrinklies. No. Get painted down. Your structure must be stronger. Yeah, I hear you there. Takes a lot of clay, I've found, depending on how you do it. You can obviously do smaller ridges, which are actually more authentic to the pumpkin shape, but it does eat up the clay. Nice thing though is the inside of this is going to be smooth. That is something I am stoked for. Super stoked. Might even try one of these with just a twine, shade twine surrounding. Experiment with many methods to find one that is the most effective and time utilization wise good. Alright, that's almost 2 layers. A little bit more to do here. It's too thick. the overlap, I might be making this a little bit thicker than 3 layers. I just hope it's a pain not to separate, or not a pain to cut when I eventually do open it and pop it. You know, a genius of a man once told me that you can use small, round vessels to serve as holders for these things. Okay. Also told me that if you move at all, you will knock over everything you're working on. Every time. Oh. Hey, Angela. And hello, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. I'm glad you had such a success with it. Yeah, layering is my least favorite part of doing this. Anytime, all the time, ever. I think I've got about 10, 12 pumpkins myself. Our camera's jiggling because my foot's going to swing in here. I'd move the camera closer, but it's layering. And if you do paper mache at all, you don't want to see this close up because this is the boring part. This is the part that makes you go insane if you do it too much. I have been trying for a long time to find a solution to making layering faster, or at least just suck less. I suppose with this I could have applied paper clay right to it, but I don't have any paper clay made right now. Hey! Thanks, Twisted. Yeah, funny story about that, Angela. A DVI-I is different, apparently, to a DVI-D. One of them has a little flat piece with 4 little prongy connectors, and one just has a little flat piece. And I looked in the back of my computer, and I said, what do I got? I got a little flat piece with 4 prongy connectors. That's a DVI-D, or DVI-I. I know what I'll order. I'll order that one. Yeah. Truth be told, I should have done that a little early in the day when there's a little more light back there, because I ordered the wrong thing. So on Tuesday, now, I will have a monitor here where the chat will be much larger, and I will be trying a multi-stream to the Twitch TV creative channel at that point as well. Then the next challenge will be to get a hub that actually works with my camera to thoughts interrupting work, stop thinking, and work. I'll be trying to get a hub that works with my camera so I can have a mouse in here. So just on the off chance somebody comes into the channel and needs to go away, I'll be able to do that without getting up, wandering into the living room, and then bumping them out. Oh god, yeah. The base on this thing just saved me a lot of frustration. I should have started with one, but Realizing you're being a klutz is half the fun. That's incidentally part of the story of this webcam that I'm using right now. Oh, what a nightmare that was. I went on some streamer sites. I said, what webcam do you use? We're using this one. I, too, will get this one. It will be as wonderful as your stream because your head and everything looks fine. And you can do all sorts of things with it. So I ordered that one. Turns out that one's compatibility with Windows 10 is only marginal at best. And I spent 3 hours pouring through people's complaints and fixes and solutions and stuff on the webcam. And I was sick of it. And I was going to return it to Amazon. And I processed the return. And I put it back in the box. And I wrapped it up. And then I read that one last article. Works fine for me. I just plugged it in the back of my computer. Oh. And then the little support. Yes, it turns out the camera doesn't work very well with USB hubs. And I said, no. 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 And I took the camera back out of the box. And I skipped the USB hub. And I plugged it into the back of my computer. And lo and behold, the picture was beautiful. And then I walked straight out a window. I am making the idea I came up with last night. This is going to be the first prototype witch orb. And it's going to be awful because the first one is always awful, and then the second and third one will be incredible. Well, we don't buy these for reading, Chris. This is the Norwich Penny Saver. This is bought because it has coupons and sales and listings of stuff locally. That is its fate. Oh, the C920, huh? This is not a C920, my friend. This is a C922X, which is shite for USB hubs. Only the piffle use the C920 anymore. The cool kids are all using the C922X, yes. Oh, I shall drink now because I've been snooty. Yep. Yeah, once I bypassed the hub and went straight into the plug in the back, it was working fine. The next pain in the butt was the 50-foot USB cord extension from the living room PC to the crafting area because I am not crafting over carpet with paper mache. It'll turn into a rock brick in no time. And praying that the USB extender I got would be compatible with this camera, but lo and behold, that worked, so I didn't have to go ape-spit on that. Hey, Sergeant Patrick, how you doing? Oh, thank you, Angela. I love it too. It keeps me sane. Keeps me very sane. Keeps me enjoying the things I enjoy and not caring what the other folks in the world are having problems with. Apparently, Jim Blackman owns something in Guilford, New York. The thing says. You know, I would have twisted, but that mug's heavy, okay? It wasn't a teacup. I have ordered 12 more of the remote control LED light strings for both this project and additional bottles. Worst case scenario, I'll be able to put those around in different bottles and light the haunt that way. Only problem is it's going to be a lot of hauling bottles North Wolfwood is still here. Look forward to it, amigo. We're going to be hauling bottles for days. Yeah, Chris, there was a plug-in adapter, so it actually boosts the signal. Because as you know, a USB signal degrades over about 12 feet of cable, and you can't go much further than that. My 50-foot extension has a repeater built right into it. It'll actually carry the signal that distance. Blech. These, you can't link the LED lights, unfortunately. Though the good thing is, it's just 3 AA batteries. So if you wanted to put a couple units into something, or just string them out in tandem, that's really no big thing. It's very simple with this project. Very, very, very simple. Oh, jeez. I am not sure, Sergeant. Not sure at all. You'll find them if you search for waterproof LED color changing battery. I have no doubt you'll find them there. It was about $14 for 3 of them. With this one, I thought what I would do is I would take a central column in the middle and wrap all the LED lights around it, and then have it beam out from there in all directions. So there won't be a shadow cast by the central column, because if you do lights on the inside, if somebody is looking in from over here, they might see the lights more blatantly on the opposite side. And if they're all around the central core, they'll beam out everywhere, is my concept twisted. I do love the Amazon Evil Giant too. I'm a Prime person. I've drank all their Kool-Aid. I have Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 61 degrees.
Whoa.
Today, expect a high of 75
Alexa,
degrees.
stop. I have drank their Kool-Aid. I have bought their stuff. I like it. The lights in my living room are controlled by the evil voice machine now. But I really do like it. I can ask for reminders, I can set timers, I can set alarms, all sorts of stuff. And every now and again, Amazon does screw up. I will not dispute that at all. I've had good luck with them though, so. Yeah, I know. When I just said there that Amazon does screw up, that definitely hit an Amazon employee's ears, and, you know, they've made note of that for my online ad settings. Now I'm going to get ads for suckers. I am right with you there, Sergeant Patrick. Right with you. I do not like crowds at all. Yes, I did, Angel. Only because I wanted a specific size. If I just wanted regular beach balls, I've gone down to the dollar store and gotten those before. Because there's no way I'm going to do Amazon for a item that's in very, very, very common circulation. But if I'm specifically looking for, look, 6-inch beach ball, no bigger than that, then I do go for the stores. Ooh, that's not good. Nothing worse than needing something at one time and having it show up way too late, particularly if they say they're going to do it. Yep, it's nice when things just show up. The door fairy comes, bringing presents to all the rich little children. No. Yeah. Your package has been to Iowa, Ohio, Wyoming, Arkansas. Everywhere but your house, apparently. We're calling it blackberry juice, Angela. But it is from the same place as last night's, strawberry beverage. It is the all-time greatest, most flavorful beverage in the history of ever, in my opinion. Made by Earl Estates Meadery. And I have 3 bottles of it, and they need to go before I get on that medication, so I can enjoy them and recall fondly their demise. The other problem with spherical layering is you really got to use the thin strips. It's kind of annoying. Nice. I've always wanted to make a blackberry mead. Closest I have gotten has been blueberry meads, and they've all been very, very good. Very, 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 very good. Strawberry is still my default, though. Hey, Oakwillow, how's life going? Just working on the first prototype witch orb. Doing, as you can see, the most fun part, layering. But I'm only going to 3 layers here. The predominant structure for this is going to be the cotton balls with the paste. Chris is a good guy to know. It's been fun. I've actually got 2 people on the stream that I actually know in real life. Yeah, you and me both, Oak. I am so stoked for this project. I really wish I didn't have to do all the layering for it. I may see if there's a faster way. Maybe the old sawdust and wood glue trick. I can't dispute the strength of mache layering. Simply can't argue it. It will always get me the best strength for the cheap. I have a feeling that when I finally get this thing out of prototype phase, there's going to be some sort of wire or fiber reinforcement to it. We're gonna see. Oh wow, yeah. That'll be a good reason there, Sergeant. Absolutely. I'm gonna have to stop because of meds next week. Probably, Angela, if I finish this and finish the witch bottle, then I'm gonna grab those pumpkins, one of which is right here. This one's gonna get black, the other one's gonna get the rest of its varnishing done. At least on the side that I couldn't put up on a bucket for yesterday. So I'd like to get these two done and out of my crafting area. Because I got that monitor I want to put up. It's not really a choice, Sergeant. That's a live or die. Of course, you can be one of those folks who does the whole, I don't care what the doctor says, I'm going to do what I like. Know one of those who is currently under hospice care in northern New York. Driving his stepdaughter a little bit crazy with that because all the doctors said do this. He didn't want to do that because he's going to live the way he's going to live. Hey, well, now you're dying. $4 lights, 1 remote, $24. That's not too bad. Still, I'd look for that one that's 6 lights, or 3 lights for 14. Sergeant, you contacted me on Facebook, right? I'm pretty sure you did send me an invite and we got all hooked up. Because if so, I'll just, when I get done with crafting tonight, I'll take a look at my orders and send you the link. Yep, you can't fault the structural integrity of this stuff. About the only thing that could really speed it up is if you had, like, crash, bang, smash. Guess what we're trying for the next one? This is used for firework wrapping. This could make this a lot faster. And since I'm not doing much with fireworks anymore, yeah, if you had if there was a paper tape, that would just be, stick, duck. I would love that. I don't have too many of the pictures of my work on Facebook, Wendy. I got some of the Halloween pictures up there, but in general, that's more my personal account for just keeping in touch with friends and whatnot. Laptop to desktop. Yeah, definitely post on that. Worthwhile. Hey James, how's things going? Good to have you on the stream. Excellent. Yeah, I'll send you that information later. Fiberglass and resin. Yep, that would be fast and super durable. Indisputably. I may very well try that firework wrapping tape, though. All you have to do is wet one side and then stick it right on. It should be fairly resilient. The only thing you really definitely also get with mache, though, is the starch and flour combined to form that just hard rigidity that really benefits a project. If I did this whole thing out of masking tape, I'd have a wad that would collapse. There just wouldn't be enough chemical bonds forming cross-structurally to keep it stiff. It would be squidgy. Way too squidgy. Yeah, I do love that smoke bomb. I wish I could use it in the current site. Who knows? If I get a house and it's somewhere where I can create a safe place to deploy it, then they may very well come back. I do love using them. They are best used in the past when you got a whole bunch of people in front of the house staring at everything. And it was flattering and it was wonderful, but it was starting to make it so new trick-or-treaters were having a tough time getting in. We just let off a couple of those bombs and whole house would vanish, whole neighborhood would vanish, and that gaggle would get the hell out. Yeah, Sergeant, I've got my entire social media network pretty much on lockdown. Unless you're on my friends list, you cannot see any of my posts or things like that. It's all got to be by permission. And I have had students who have tried to contact me on there, but my rule is they have to graduate. Must graduate in order to get me on social media. So we get a lot of kids who come into our program who just decide not to do anything and flunk out. And well, that's your life choice. Angela, if I didn't add you, make sure you send me a message too, because occasionally I get random invites, and sometimes I can go to that person's profile, and I'll look and I'll check, and I see they've got Halloween stuff everywhere, and I know, oh, this person is, on the YouTubes and all that, and other times I'll, who is this, and I'll look and I'll check, and it just looks like, hey, this is Average Joe's page, so sorry, no. So make sure if you can either send me a message with it, because I'll get that and then I'll know, hey, okay, this is a YouTubey person. Of course, I gotta be careful too. I had a few people who have found me on Facebook, and then I link up with them, and then, man, the right-wing stuff just starts pouring in off their page. And I don't begrudge anyone their political views, whatever. That's just not what I want to see with breakfast is all. So I end up not unfriending, but just unfollowing, so I don't have to get the CNN morning whatever. I could see that happening, Sergeant. I could very much see that happening, especially in the age of cyberbullying. It doesn't just happen to students, it can also happen to staff. Very, very much so. I don't think I have yet, Twisted. My day was wake up, go to Walmart, curse, fret, spend a while trying to get that monitor hooked up, realizing I can't, curse, fret, back and forth. I haven't been online too much. My sleep schedule is all kerfuffled at present. This is the last layer. Let's get it done. Get me to the fun stuff. Yep, plenty of trolls on the interwebs, to be sure. I don't want to layer anymore. I just want to put goobers on a witch bottle. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be mache artists. Almost there, almost there. I don't know why I'm rushing. I still have at least 10 more minutes of this, bare minimum. I'm going to put about 3 more of these upsy downsy overlaps on, but then that'll be set. Pardon. I can't wait to goober this thing. I have to decide how I'm going to put the battery compartment in here. I know how chainmail can go, Twisted. God damn, do I know how chainmail can go. Click, twist, poop, click, twist, pull. The thing I always hated was getting my coil wound up and sitting there for an hour, just cut out links, cut out links, cut out links, cut out links. Oh. Oh, this whole thing's going to be dry, Angela, before I get to that stage. I'm putting 3 layers on and then I'm stopping. I'm going to let them dry before I move forward with the project. I want my orb first. And it is very orby. I'm very pleased with how this came out. The balloon is simple and effective. Very simple, very effective. Which is good, because if I do a video on this, it'll just be, hey, all you need is a balloon. Most folks can get balloons. Oh dear. It's tough when you gotta get rid of your fireworks. Not fun. Chris, I heard that, what's the name of that knight who's up there? I heard he grabbed it. It was the front and back of a hauberk. I don't know if anybody's done anything with it. Don't really care. The thing weighed 2,000 pounds. 6-in-1 chainmail is not meant to be done anything unless you have flattened, riveted links. Well, if I had a sword pattern in there, I would definitely start with the central bits and work out first too. That would be the way to go. Because otherwise you'd be sitting there looking at all the lengths going, should I start the sword yet? Should I start it? Is it ready? Is it time? Have to do it that way. Or you'd go mad. Of course you'd go mad anyway, but you know, that's half the fun. Yeah. But, that was a mighty piece of chain. At least mighty is one word for it. If somebody was going to stab me, I'd want to be wearing that chainmail. I know the links weren't riveted, but I'm pretty sure, so long as we weren't talking a poignard or anything, that thing would stop a thrust from a Bowie. Yeah, that plaster wrap is pretty good. I actually might even try some of it on this project as a speeded up method. Cut it into tiny pieces and just boom, 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 boom. The only problem with the plaster wrap on a thing like this is once that plaster cracks and breaks, it's got a brittleness to it that I'm not sure would be best conducive for this project. I think I really can't go wrong with the mache. And these tiny, tiny strips, which are too tiny, but don't wrinkle when I fold them. There's got to be one somewhere twisted. I can't. There's an app for everything these days. Something that would say, you know, what diameter are your links? What's your pattern? You input the pattern. It says you're going to need X number of these links, X number of these links. Oh yeah, Hydrocal. Yep. That is the name. It does dry very fast. I like that it dries hard and rigid. Good stuff. Almost wonder if you could use it for like a middle layer of this thing. Paper layer, plaster layer, paper layer, done. But this way you still get the fiber meshing, which is the key of the strength of the mache. Well, I did prep my materials. See? Glass is still half full. No, tearing paper takes no time. I also did prep the cotton. I got all that done last night. So I did not want to spend the whole stream going, here, look at me unfluff cotton balls. This is fun, right? What do you do on camera? I take a cotton ball, yeah, and I unwind it. And then I take another cotton ball. People watch me do this for 4.5 hours. really? How'd that work? Got huge, man. Got huge. Came to a point they were paying me $10 an hour a piece to watch me unravel cotton balls. Oh. Got so good I hired a whole staff just to unravel cotton balls. Alright, we're almost there. We just got this. Just doing this top hemisphere. We just have this section left to do. And then we are done with the boring bits. And then I have to decide how in the hell I'm gonna hang or put this thing. See if I can't get it on an accelerated drying pattern. Throw it in the oven on about 100 degrees. Because I want to play with this tonight. I am super stoked for this project. I want to see witch balls. No problem with flying on it during a live stream. I mean, it's your time, it's your amusement, it's your entertainment. Who cares? It's not like, all right, guys, at any point tonight, a leprechaun could come on screen and murder me, and if you fall asleep at any point, you might miss that. Inspires me in the crafting world. You know, honestly, just going online and either seeing cool stuff people have done or looking at cool Halloween art. Cruising through Haunter's Hangout, seeing somebody go, hey, look at what I made, and either going, I can improve on that, or that's a neat idea, I wonder if I can do it better, cheaper, or, you know, more for my hunt. So mostly looking at other people's art is the biggest inspiration. It is real, damn it. Very real. You don't get much more real than a part-time crafter trying to make a cool display for one day out of 360. Yeah, I'm not in distress for crafting. Not at all. Scrap fabric. No, I haven't. Thought about it. Haven't had the scrap fabric around. Not being much of a sewer, I'm not huge with that one. Haltia, I have not. No. Nope, just all YouTube, Facebook, art references, art resources. That's been about it. Those are the big ones. Alright, this is as done as it's getting right now. I want to hang it in front of the fan. So I'm going to poke a hole. String some yarn. I'm going to get some paper stuck to it. I'll tie it off. And I'm going to let you guys hold it. There, it's on the back control arm of the camera. Hang on to that for me, will you guys? Thanks. Appreciate it. The fan's more or less on it. What did I miss? Old t-shirts. Yeah, I do have a bunch of those somewhere. I could probably pull it out. I go back to school teaching week after next, but that's a 4-hour-a-day gig for about 8 days. Then I got 2 more weeks off, and then it starts up again full time. And at that point, I'm definitely not going to be streaming every night, because some nights I will be having the home bed sleep now, unstudentify myself. My machete issues? I don't have machete issues. I mean, I've got a machete, but, you know. Well, then it's a flying machete user, because I'm on the 2nd floor. And if that's the case, I am doomed anyway. If Jason could fly, all them teenagers would be real screwed. Alright, this is small sphere holder. It's time to put unused strips back in the strip mag. Unused strips over there for right now, probably garbage on later. Foldy stuff. Toss. Delicious. Okay, well, back to the other project. Let's do this little rinse so it doesn't turn into iron later on. That's what I forgot at Walmart. I was going to get fabric softener. I read on a hunt forum that fabric softener will cloud up water and stay that way for 12 hours or so with no agitation. And that's what I was going to get tonight, and that's one of the things I forgot to get. Bollocks. Oh well. Okay, that was way wetter than I thought it was going to be. Okay, cool. Okay, so here's all the cotton wadding that I prepped yesterday. I only want about half of it to start. In fact, a little less than half of it to start. That's still a lot. Well, allow me to indulge you, Twisted Knots. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 2:26 a.m.
Ah. And now you know. Ah, good old UK. What part of the UK are you in, Karen? I lived in southeast England for 2 years. Down in Essex. With your last name, I would guess Ireland or Wales. Of course, you could have moved anywhere. .30 Sunday afternoon. Damn. That sounds like an Aussie land. Aussie land time. Oh wow, that's a much different effect. Whales, I thought so. Yeah, the name has definitely got the old Irish mystique to it, to be sure. Man, when you use full paste instead of sort of the watered down paste, you get a lot more fibery bits. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Or at least that's my quick initial observation here from when I just got out of the cotton. Maybe it's not sinking into the cotton as much, and that's why I'm getting more fiber sections. Possibly. Either way, it's an interesting discovery. Also means I've got to goober on some extra paste sections from time to time. That, or I just need to open this up and add more paste, which I think is going to be the better solution. Yeah. I could do fabric softener that way. I may yet, because, well, I came back from Walmart. I don't fancy making another trip. Actually, I'll have to go to Aldi's for groceries later this week, so they should have fabric softener there. And I prefer buying from them anyway. Not necessarily mind buying from Walmart, but Aldi's is usually a little bit cheaper. Okay. Alright, so the filament stuff around the base is pretty much done. August 6th, yeah. It's, which area were you from again, Sergeant? Did you say California last time, out in the Midwest? Sorry, I've had a bunch of people here from all sorts of different places, so it's hard to keep track of sometimes. Was that a mouse? I thought I heard a mouse. I remember in the UK, we always went back in August. It was much earlier than the US. And we started in, or we ended late July, so it went longer in the US as well. I can't remember if there were more holidays because that was my first years of teaching, and ooh, that was a roller coaster. Yeah, the thing worked out all right. I was not displeased with the results. What I think I will do if I do more skulls is I have a whole bunch of tiny little skulls in a bag that I'm not using right now. So I will probably end up grabbing those. Let's reconfigure this for more optimal brain. So that just wasn't enough paste in there to really get it. Probably put a pre-made skull onto the project. The cotton's good, but it's tough to mold. Very, very tough to mold and keep the way you want it. Last week, oh jeez, late July. Yep, that sounds about right. That was how it was for us over in Essex. I usually went back to the U.S. for the summer, saw my parents and other folks, and then popped back to the U.K. Kind of bit me in the butt for customs when I went back to the UK for a visit with my mom, because they pulled me in at the airport and said, you had a work visa and yet you left the country a couple times and then you came back. What were you doing on your visits? Visiting my parents. Do you have anybody who can verify that? Yeah, my mom, who's sitting right next to me. Made me wait for flip all effort next to a gentleman who looked to be of Iranian ancestry. Suppose they were just doing their jobs. Yeah, I saw that heat wave that went through there. Killed a whole bunch of people, too. That's why I thought you were the person from California. Let's take this one. I adore this branch capacity. So simple, so effective, looks gorgeous. Yeah. The only thing I wish about that visit was they just taken care of it longer, or faster, I should say. Because just sitting there like, what the hell could they possibly want me for? To my knowledge, I haven't done anything criminal in the country. I mean, why am I being detained? We had a cab waiting for us because we planned the whole thing through a travel agency. We had to make sure that the cabbie knew that, oh, this is why they aren't showing up outside. It's supposed to be, why are you here? We're here to spend money and take pictures. Okay, goodbye. Have a wonderful trip. This is just too dry. Just too dry. Having all those wads of cotton in there, they're not all absorbing the paste. It's getting into the outer layer without a problem, but obviously the inner layers are not soaking it up. That's what's getting me the overly fibrous sections. Yeah, too many districts are all trying to make their own thing happen. In my current job, we service, like 10, 12 component school districts. Not a one of them is willing to make unified plans, and it turns into an absolute mess every year. And rather than dictate to these people what it's going to be. My particular branch of the educational pinwheel is trying to kowtow to as many as possible, and that doesn't help anything. Oh yeah, I've got to make this hook more hooky. Yep, gonna put a skull on one of these at some point, Patrick. And Lucio, we are making a witch bottle. A bottle containing glowing green liquid. The glow courtesy of some LED lights, which are hidden underneath. And then we are also going to be making a witch orb, because I love this branch effect that I'm doing right now. These twisted roots and plant fiber looking things that get everywhere, and all you have to do to bring them out is hit them with a little bit of wood stain. It is so disgustingly easy. Speaking of which, I'm going to rotate the orb because that side is dry off. The goal on this one has been to get it a little bit more Tim Burton-y with the effects. Oh, I also got some cotton batting. I believe somebody suggested that last night. I picked up a bunch at Walmart, and we're going to see if twisted strips of cotton batting can get you this effect faster without pulling apart 900,000 cotton balls. I have a feeling it will, and that should accelerate any project. And you really wouldn't need much batting for this at all. Ooh, dry. Well, that's good, Karen, because I could let loose with both barrels. Honestly, the UK education system is what the US, at least in science, is trying to move towards in terms of grand plan and ideal strategy. The concept is to give the kids a smattering of everything at all different years. So I learn a little bit about atoms and nuclear physics and stuff in year 4, and then I learn a little bit more about it in year 5, year 6, and every time I'm learning a little bit, and every year I'm getting a little bit of biology, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Whereas in the US, you tend to lose that once you hit our equivalent of probably year 7. You start getting more specialized. Like this year, you're going to do all physics. This year, you're going to do all chemistry. And the downside with it being is that when you are young like that, you don't have a serious academic concept to you. You just, oh, I take the class, I like the class, I hate the class, I pass the class, fail the class, done. And then when you reach a later stage and it's you had to have understood that information to understand what we're talking about next, like, oh, we're going to do cells in biology, you were supposed to have been exposed to that from year 5 on up. But kids being kids, we're going to talk about what? I smiled and nodded through that class, but I don't actually remember any of it because I wasn't a true serious academic. I'm just a kid. That's not my mindset at that period of my life. And consequently, I'm trying to teach year 11s about radiation, and they don't know what atoms are. And you can't teach somebody about radiation who doesn't know what an atom is. So that was one of the distinct flaws and problems I noted with UK education, and also Ofsted is an absolutely horrible institution. School inspections in the UK are traumatic for teachers and miserable and nightmarish. Let me grab a few other folks because I've been yakking about that for a while. The witch orb. We were just working on the witch orb. Here's prototype phase 1. I'm going to get to more of it once it's dried. Woo. Yeah, there's a few folks on there. Facebook group. I don't have my own on Facebook, but I'm on Haunters Hangout. And there's Halloween Paper Mache is another one on there as well. That's right, Lucia. I was just answering a question in regards to somebody saying, what were the differences I just found between the U.S. versus UK education system when I was teaching over in the UK? That's fine. Just answering our curiosities. I like a more patterned, this year is biology, this year is chemistry, not you get a little piece of everything all along. And I kind of wish that the higher-ups in education weren't politicians. You have people who are not educators trying to decide educational policy. And that's a problem over in the U.S. Yeah, Ofsted is... I had a very good, I shouldn't say friend, a very good colleague / acquaintance over in the UK, and she was a veteran teacher of some 12 years. She did her best. She worked very hard for her kids. She did everything a good teacher does. And Ofsted came in there, and they had her in tears. Absolute tears. Because it was, show me in your planner the spot where you did something special because Billy over there has a mild autism case, and show me by the data all the things you've been doing for Billy. And yeah, it's like, I have been doing for Billy. I've been trying to help Billy because I'm a good teacher, but I got 24 other kids in here, I can't, there aren't enough hours of the day to plan out every single learning disability to a complete T. It's just impossible. STEM, and I like STEM. I like the concept of STEM. I don't like how some folks in education think STEM is going to solve everything and doing more for it. We have somebody, the problem I have with my institution is we just hired a person to do only STEM, and they don't help our main building at all. And to me, what the hell is the point? If you're going to hire somebody who's not going to be helping your main site. And then the people are going to yell at us about, oh, we need to raise standards and raise achievement. Well, then get us people who are actually going to work in our building. All right. I didn't know the current system was based on an EU configuration. I assumed it was endemic to England in general. We'll see what happens with Brexit, huh? I've been following that. That's going to be an interesting scenario if they can ever figure, it out. Alright, we need more stuff right there. Woo! Pardon. That blackberry juice, though. Yum, yum, yum. More twisty branches. Another this is so easy project. Honestly, this is the longest part of it. Nice. It's good to have teachers who don't fly down your throat about every last little thing. My job, we have to be that way. A lot of our kids are disadvantaged students who are more worried about where the next meal is going to come from after school than how well they did on that test. Alright, I don't want to lose that texture. That should work. Alright, back to the spot where I said I actually needed more of it there. I fixed that. There is more of it there. Now, I think I got the branchy bits done on this one. It's time for some filler branchy bits. Maybe some twisted braids. Small branchy bits. Small, I mean smaller than that. Pull apart. Then we'll need some filament pieces for the main section. Then we'll need some filaments for going up, and then we're going to be done with this piece. I got another thing of wood stain for when my current one runs out, which hopefully won't go out too quickly, because I like the current stuff I'm using. When you switch paints, you never quite know if that new hue is going to match. Go. Alright, good. Let's just tuck that up there. It's fine. Yeah. Tuck that up there. Oh, I love this project. It's even less stress than a pumpkin. You definitely could. That would not be hard. I got some 8-gauge wire. I think the problem is just doing it on this is quick and easy. Doing a large project in this style would require a much bigger time commitment. And while that's not bad, it's something that I would want to bulk up the hand proper, and then I would want to introduce some texture to the hand, and then I would want to start this process of all the little ropey pieces of cotton or cotton fabric to it. Because building the whole thing out of layered cotton, oh my god, that would take the flip all over and be kind of miserable. Oh, there's good filaments. Good, because I need to cover up that. Take that down. Perfect. What are you doing, honey? Nothing. Is that the sound of shredding cotton balls I hear? No. Yeah, the great thing about this is if you do it out of cotton balls, they're cheap. Cheap, 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 cheap. It's not a heavy problematic episode. Oh, you know, I'm glad it's not 105 here, but part of me is kind of jealous of the fact that you got a fast drawing effect. There we go. Alright, let's get some filaments. Get this bottom section a little bit more creepypasta. Get this project done. Good. That flat glass. Pieces and bits, pieces and bits. I will look into that, Paul. Anything I can do to speed up or improve the process is an addition worth looking into. So right now it's good. I think it could be a little bit better. And then of course we'll make the tutorial on it and throw it up on the tubes for the peoples. Hunt for the people. Yeah, 105 is way too hot for me. I start to turn into a cinder at pretty much around 80. It's just a nope. Super nope. What is the sound of nope? The sound of nope is 85 or more degrees. Tap the thermometer. It goes nope, 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 nope. Now I'm gonna have paper clay crack because it dried too fast. At least paper clay, you can just smooth more paper clay over it. You're fine. Other substances don't give you the same luxury. Let's get this bottom covered. Yeah, military will take you everywhere. Yeah, Razdog, you are in the nope zone. Absolutely, doodly. That's a nope zone. At least to me. I have to have it cool. I'll tell you right now, gang, when you're obese, man, and that temperature goes up, it's death out there. It's death. It's not fun at all. Lucio, are you talking Celsius or Fahrenheit? I hate the fact that I have to say that, but I'm from the U.S., so I'm guessing you're talking centigrade. 32 is hot Celsius. I would love it to be in the 60s all year long. That would be wonderful. Raining in Wales? You don't say. I took a trip with my mother to Radigan, Scotland. And it rained a lot up there too. But God, it was beautiful. I love Scotland. Up in the Highlands. So gorgeous. Spit and you hit a beautiful misty mountain. Okay, this one is approaching done very rapidly. Let's get some boogers in here. Then we need some filaments on the upside, and then it's done. I'll ask you to make sure that the light is coming out correctly. And by that I mean there's a line here where the light starts, and I need to make sure that when I turn that light on, there's enough pieces to make that line ambiguous. There's no distinct cutoff point. There. Most of the way around the base is done. There's a problem area. There's a problem area. There's a spot that's not covered. Nobody's going to notice in the dark, but I'll notice it because I made it. I hear you there, TGBH. Absolutely. Hell, went to Walmart tonight, just marching around the store. I'm sweating like a stuck pig. Like, what the hell? Come on. It's coming along. It's almost there. Again, I just got to find those spots where it's going to be too obvious where the cutoff point of the light is and block them a little bit. And to a certain extent, I need to make sure I don't overdo this. Because it's way too stupid easy with projects like this, trying to achieve absolute perfection. You're never going to get it. Your Halloween people are only going to look at it for about 2 seconds, if that. Then they're going to move on. There's no point in honing this to super Da Vinci levels. Good. Bit stuck on, stuff ambiguous. Let's throw a few more twisted goobers on there. Call it good. And we'll wood burn something into that little wooden plaque. Some cute witchy glyph. Set. I wouldn't want to put them in the oven. Honestly, I didn't put the sphere in the oven either, which reminds me I got to rotate it again. I don't know how much the water will swell under the heat effect, and I don't want to have this break in any way, shape, or form. I also don't want the hot glue to start to soften on it. So the bottles are going to be totally, completely, utterly air dried for security and peace of mind. And you can strive for perfection, but you don't want to be paralyzed by the need for it. I like perfection as much as the next artist. But then again, that's another thing with art and artists. Every time you see an artist, and some of you may have experienced this yourself, if you're an artist and you make a project, then later on you look at that project and your eye is going to be drawn to all the little things that you perceive as flaws. You're going to look at that one spot going, geez, I should have covered that up. And your brain's going to start going nuts with it. And any friend who is with you is going to be going, yeah, it's great. And you're just going to nitpick yourself to death. Oh, I should have done this isn't quite right. It should have been 2 millimeters to larger. I've seen artists do that so many times. People whose work is gorgeous and beautiful, and I wish I could reach their level, and they're doing that to themselves. And no thanks. No, thank you. I will be slightly imperfect, but much more sane and having a lot more fun. Lots more fun. That's just going to stay like that. Alright, right there though. There's a difference between nitpicking over tiny flaws and finding glaring imperfections. Glaring imperfections must be fixed. Yeah, in the oven, the glue on this might start to loosen. The hot glue, at the very least. I don't want that. I'm a little worried it might start to happen. Let's get me some screw bang. Let's hide that boundary a little bit better. Almost out of cotton from this batch. There we go. That boundary's going away. I'm looking forward to seeing this one. I really think that hockey puck light in this is going to make it all the way there. That thing was exceptionally bright and giving a very good color to this set of highlighter fluid. Any other areas where it's a glaring transition? Right there. Yeah, let it go. I have managed to still not see that movie, thank all the gods. I know way too many little little nieces and ladies who have obsessed over Frozen. Oh. Yep, perfection syndrome is a constant issue. Yep. Quick, I need artistic criticism. Looks good. Ah! That's a problem in education, too. A lot of the classroom observations that get done as a teacher, you want feedback. You know, how am I doing? How's my style? You think I'm reaching everyone in the room? And a lot of the administrators are just trying to get their I's dotted and T's crossed. How was it? Was it okay? Yeah, it's great. Move on. But could I have been standing to the left? How are my materials? Were the kids responding? I need a second set of eyes in the room to tell me how well I'm doing. Oh, yeah, it's great. Fine. Ah! And you go bananas. Okay. Let's see here. I played Doom 2 a fair bit. I have not played Duke Nukem, though. That's an interesting sight. Hell of a film on this. I need to add some more water to it. Okay, that should be good. Bottom's done, thing's done. Let's see if these filaments I'm talking about are all that visible. Wow, yes they are. Oh my god. Okay, need those. Need those. I can super see them on that one. They add a lot to the project, so we're gonna grab a last. This should not take a lot of cotton. Really shouldn't. No! Dried pieces of paste and There. Cotton. Alright, let's get some pull apart fragmenty filaments. Get them positioned. There we go. Tiny little threads. Little wispy bits. Perfect. Little wispy piece. A crooked line. Wispy piece. Nope, don't wanna interrupt the branches. Let's pull that apart. Good. Yeah. Okay. A little wisp. All right. Let's catch up with Jet. Yeah, you do get better feedback when it's what did I do right. Micromanagement, I've seen that happen before too. We had a principal who liked to do that, but not on a feedback level. Hey, Patio Billy, how we doing? Welcome to the stream. You got here, and you're good. I think the filaments come out better when it is a little bit more moist. When it's dry, you tend to get dry fibers, and I know the dry fibers won't stick to the glass very well. So, truth be told, it's best when you get kind of a 50-50 level of moisture. If it's too wet, you get soupy strands. If it is too dry, you get dry filaments. You need kind of a weird 50-50 from what I've been seeing so far. Unfortunately, the filaments don't apply themselves very well. Just gotta tuck that down in there. But, you know, they're supposed to be kind of dirty and anyway, so. The other great thing is that the light goes more or less right through them, so they really enhance the close effect. And I'm probably oversweating them a little bit because on Halloween night, nobody's going to see these. Nobody at all. They are entirely too tiny. But during any kind of daylight, or if by some miracle I find a way to get good lighting on them, this has a nice dirtying effect to the piece. There we go, that's perfect. Very nice dirtying effect. Because nothing Halloween-y should be pristine and clean. Not at all. Should always be some graveyard scuds to it. Yep. Get in there. Whew. Let's hope the wife forgives you for suborning her cotton. And, well, when I went to the UK, I expected Halloween would not be as it is in the US. So I did not have any illusions. It was not a country that did it over much. And I got some trick-or-treaters, and I dressed up. And actually, that's where I discovered my my glowing eye trick for the first time, was in the UK. And I used it ever after. It's a big part of my current costume. And some kids took their pictures with me, and we had a lot of fun. And I put up some Halloween decorations, and yeah, I just did not expect it to be an absolute trick-or-treater storm. That's just how it is. But it wasn't awful. It was the best it could be for the place it was. When you go to a fast food franchise, you don't expect 4-star steaks, you know? If you expect 4-star steaks, you're going to have a lousy time. But if you expect okay fast food, you might just get your wish. and you might still have a good time. Alright, filamented. Let's get some filaments. Yeah, let's not have them fall off. Let's get some shea paste on the glass. Then mush on the filaments. Then use the X-Acto to drag them where I want them. Cool. It's not great, but it's dirty. That's fine, that's fine. Let's just flop them on there. Flop them on. Or else, yep. Having a little problem right now with dryness. Some of these things are not wanting to meld because they're starting to dry out. Should be some filaments down in there. Go in. Spread out. Ah, nice. Alright, yep, that trick works. Large Easter eggs. I bet, yeah, this would work very, very well for that. Make all sorts of cool shapes. I remember reading the story of the Pendle Witches. I came in with a cool thing I ordered, and I was in Southend-on-Sea when I did my first Halloween out there. Really, the first one I missed. The second one I did in Southend. It was fine. I keep most of my Halloween stuff confined to the garage for the greater part of the year, unless I'm crafting. And when I have to clean up the crafting area, that's always problematic. I can't use my garage either because it's full of Halloween stuff. I could probably make a paint that would do the filament effect for me and slurry it up, but since I have the stuff right now, I've already practiced using it. I'm just gonna use this for filamentous trash. Because it'll work just fine. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Just throw some in here. I'll tell you, the filaments stick a whole lot better when they're a little bit wet. Hell of a lot better. As you might imagine, I mean, obviously. Okay. Nope, I'm not going to over-perfectionalize this one, just got one more spot. And then that's all the filamenty I want to do to that. Incidentally, for all the filament stuff, that's about how it looks like. It's just meant to catch a little bit of the wood stain and make it look dirty and trashy. So you got some light wisps. If you want to really save yourself some time, I would almost suggest throwing filaments on there first. You can always move them or get them cut off with a little bit of extra mache paste or fluid and rearrange them. I am hoping one day to have like a storage barn or storage shed. When I say barn, I mean large outbuilding, not a full farming barn, but a storage shed to put all the Halloween stuff in. Smell of a craft house ain't bad for long, assuming they haven't just been varnishing a whole bunch of stuff. No, we're not trying to save the earth. We're just trying to have a good Halloween. I hope you all excuse me for a minute. I need to use the restroom, and then when I get back, it looks like we can start working on the witch orb. So, be right back. It's good, because I have a lot more cotton and a lot more paste. Grab the cotton batting for an experiment. Ooh, wow. Let's knock over the bottle because I'm a klutz. Okay. Cotton back in there. Water for the paste. Not too thin. Which bottle is good to dry. Still a little thick. Okay. Nice. Now, I really want to try a blue highlighter, but it's not usually the type that you see in most of the packs, so I'm waiting on it. Did I grab scissors? Yes. Okay. So, which orb? I don't know. It still feels a little soggy. I'm really in a witch orb mood, though. Well, solution is simple. This is going to be the bottom. That's where I got to pop the balloon and pull it out. So there's going to be a hole, and I got to screw around with that anyway to find out where the battery compartment is going to be and how I'm going to put the batteries in there. So we're going to screw around with the top of the witch orb, which is the moistest part anyway. So we'll just have a while to dry. And that's all right. Yeah, that's all right. Ooh. I wish we had all the colors here. I really do. Let me get that a little closer. Here I got orange, yellow, pink, and green. And the green highlighter color is crap. It's the exact same pretty much as the yellow, but it doesn't allow as much light through, so I never use it. Really want the blue one. Maybe I'll go to Amazon. Alright. Well, at any rate, let's see what this cotton batting does. Put paper in cotton batting. Ah. And then let's cut off a piece. And then let's wish we had better scissors right here because they're not cutting the cotton for crap. I'm holding them very, very badly. And then let's grab our X-Acto and drop it on the floor like an idiot. It was our third year of the war with the cotton batting. Things were not going well. The hour was dark. The scissors were crappy and the X-Acto was on the floor. Truly, it had to be our finest hour, or we would all die. Yes, face my X-Acto of doom. That also gets me more of a frayed edge, so I am in favor. Gets me a beautifully frayed edge. I love it. Woo! Yeah! Get wrecked, cotton batting. Ooh! Let's just tear you apart. Oh, yeah, that's what I love. Nice frayed edges on that where I tore it. That'll go really well. Let's see if I can get this camera any closer without causing any major headaches. Okay. Well, let's see if we can make this process a little faster. Paper strips are nice, but I just want my witch orb to be witchy and orby and done. Let's pull some pieces out. Tease those. Yeah. Pull that. Tease that, rip that. Pull that out, pull that out, pull this out, pull that out, pull that out, pull that out. Dunk it all in paste and give it a hat. Let's be wise and paste where the hat's gonna go. There, have a hat. Okay, not bad. Should we miss anything here? Yes, the cotton batting for sure is denser than the cotton balls. However, once wet, it's giving me the same effects. So I'm not worried about using it as a material, and particularly for building the top and the bottom, where I just want thick layers to start with anyways, so I'm not trying to make tiny little cotton goobers for an hour and a half. I just want this on. And I'm also going to do some experimenting here. I want to cut myself some thin batting strips. I'm going to want to get sewing scissors next time for this, or at least a sharper pair, because these aren't cutting very well right now. So let's get a couple of strips cut. Let's say 2, 3, 4. Let's get 5. And I want to try to use these as my primary descending branches of the witchwood. Like on the bottle here, I have, this is a full descending branch of the witchwood, and rather than taking forever to do that with shredded cotton ball pieces, I'm going to twist up some of these pieces of batting and lay them on in curly, weird, QE patterns. And we'll see if we can lay the foundation with the batting and then expand on it with the goobers, because there's no way I want to spend for flip all ever with goobers. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 strips. There's 5 strips. Okay. So let's take the 5 strips. There's a bunch of leftover cotton. 5 strips leftover cotton, and dump them into the saturation Tupperware. It's official name right now. And saturate it. Maybe I watered the paste a little too much. Alright, let's grab a strip. I'll take it all the way down. What happens if we double it up? Twist it. No. We're going to single this. I'm only going to take it down to there. Let's give it a little twist. Give it a shape. It does not want to hold the twist like the cotton does. So let's give it a little cotton wide thumbtack down on the lower section to stop it from untwisting. And I'm gonna move the camera so I can get my leg back under that. Hey Lucia, we were just finishing up the last witch bottle, and now we are working on the prototype witch orb. Yeah, gotta love packing material for that reason. Oh no, I'm moving. Oh yes, there's gonna be lots of good stuff. Let's just lay this right with that and see if they will want to hang out. Alright, so there's spot number 1. Spot number 2. Let's do over here. Let's use the whole thing, because last time it didn't do well when it was twisted. It sucked up a lot of the surface area. Here's descending segment number 2. Let's put a little cotton wad spot weld on there. Spread that surface area nice and wide if we can. Go to work, hydrogen bonds. It's also not really gripping the thing very flat. Which means the next one we're going to try is going to be mostly flattish. since this is just foundation anyways. In theory. Okay, it's holding a lot better, I like that concept. Because right here I've got some spots where it's just not even adhering to the sphere. And I don't like that at all. Just making sure I'm not missing much. He's making which what? Nothing, dear. What the hell is a witch word? Flat pieces of batting are quite obviously holding better. How do I have them spread out? Not quite pentagonally enough. Let's get this one further over here. And we got one in this spot. You know, let's take this as a Y. Double the action. Down here there'll be a space for a curl coming up. Let's take this extra piece and actually get some adherence. So that'll stick. Have any other scraps of the batting? Nope, it's pure cotton. This is a batting scrap, I think. It's coming apart like pure cotton. Screw it. It's a spot for sticky. Don't know how that's going to come out. I'm very curious. That's definitely a batting piece. The batting pieces, after they are soaked, almost take on the same properties as the cotton. They're just a little bit more enmeshed together. But given enough force, I can pull them apart just like a regular cotton ball. I can turn them into fibrils and filaments every bit as easily. Boom. My father tells endless jokes of the mother-in-law monsters. Yeah, let's pull some more of this batting apart. Still got enough fluid down the saturation thing. And let's extend the hat. bunch more pieces. I think using the batting will speed up an orb. I hope using batting will speed up an orb. Saturate it some more. Cotton batting also seems to soak up the fluid incredibly rapidly, which is perfect. All right. Stem the hat. Extend the hat. Drop the cotton. Extend the hat. Just crease it, crinkle it. I like how this is making what looks to be a very solid foundation. These pieces are going to be nice and solid. The downside here is going to be the transparency. Dropping branches is going to be cake. Trying to cut this stuff out later is going to be a friggin' nightmare. An absolute nightmare. It might be better to do this project solely on a balloon with nothing else. Well, stay tuned, because that's what we're going to do next. And that way, when the balloon is popped, everything is simply sitting right there, just waiting for an internal translucent piece to add stuff to. I don't think this is going to dry very fast at all. Yes, a thicker mache mix will definitely increase its sticking power, to be sure. I have some over in the sink, which I mixed up earlier. I just thinned this one out a little bit too much. I think in the long run it will still be okay, but it's not going to win any awards for drying time. Nope, you're going to be part of the hat. Let's give that a twist. Alright, as I'm doing this, my thought is that the final stages of this project are going to have to be cut out the mache backing, expose the entire area, put in the translucent material, then add more goobers and bits to it until it is the way it needs to be. I think I'm going to stop this one and start one on a straight balloon, because that way it's all going to be completely vacant in that internal section. Absolutely, utterly, completely. And the only thing you'll have to do is just pop the balloon, add the stuff, and then lay in your translucent paneling. The problem with that is going to be how much space even exists in here to lay stuff up. It's going to be a fine motor skills nightmare, at least for the final piece, because you'll be able to come in from the back in a large opening. But let's let this piece sit for a little bit and become what it's going to become. I really want to try this on a raw balloon. Let's take a look here. Let me grab some thicker paste. Camera jostling inbound. Thank you for putting up with me, Furball. Every time you're all comfy, come wandering over. All right. Thin paste. Thick paste. Let's put this down there. Let's see if everything will hold on with the orb inverted. Yes, it will. Let's move the camera back. Let's get the camera more that way. Let's check the feed to make sure this is the way I want it to be. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay. Let's put that back. I'll let you guys hold on to that thing again. Thank you very much. Just keep it in the fan. You're doing a great job. Thick paste. There's nothing left in there. Okay. I don't have another orange balloon, so it's red time. Yes, they will. The balloon pieces are going to be too large to want to stick. And even if it doesn't, it's going to be black enough that when it's blended in with the wood stain, it's not going to make any difference at all. No, cat. Well, that's not going to work. Let's let the cat play with the pumpkin. We'll put the paste in there. Here. Make friends. Here we go. Want this more stretched out at the top. Okay. Yeah, it's the right size, okay. If it didn't feel right doing that, it wouldn't have been correct. Now, young Skywalker, you will die. Okay, we're good. more batting. I ain't even bother cutting. Let's just tear it right off. Good start. Okay, other pieces. Yep, good. Good, 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 good. Great. It's just a matter of you have to say something evil while holding the orb. Otherwise, it's not right. It's not the right size. The orb chooses the witch, Harry. Here, try this one. Die? No, it's not that one. No, no, no. Let's see. I think you're a U 5.5 inch circumference. Yes, let's try that one. Die? No, no, not that one. This one is maple, Harry. Maple, 6.5 inches. Die, scum! Okay, you found your orb. Good lad, Harry. You will burn in the fires of my anger. Excellent. Very, very good. Hogwarts School of Damnation and Domination. You're an overlord, Harry. Yep, it's a little stronger when it's wet. Okay. Here's your hat. Let's get some pieces going down. Not sticking very well, but it's to be expected. Sticking well enough, just not sticking great. See how well it's sticking? Stuck right to me. This might be a more extended drying time project. Only thing I worry about in that case is the fact that the balloon will lose air. So this could be a beach ball godsend, because I can always reinflate that and it'll lose air a lot less quickly than the balloon. It was all Harry's fault. The boy who slew. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's take a fifth one down. Did not get saturated enough. Okay. Now that's batting. This is also batting. Just be flat. Stick. Now, let's grab raw cotton. We still have batting pieces left. Let's find this. Let's make this a Y junction. Turn it into a because junction. Let's look for raw cotton. It's batting. It's raw cotton. Let's just grab some more cotton I prepared last night. Give it a little saturation. Well, let's saturate it with what's left here first. Then dry, then add just a tad bit. Stupid atmosphere. And more the fact that every balloon loses air over time. When I come back to this tomorrow, I doubt highly that it's going to be in the same shape and configuration. I'm really kind of curious as to what I'm going to use for a transparency on this. My original thought was to use, that's batting, was to use milk jug plastic, but I don't know if that will be easy enough to add to the inside of this. I'd love to be cheeky and say you could just use a white balloon, but there's no way you'd get the batteries and your chosen lighting effect in there. Let's twist some strands and add them to that. I think that's batting. Alright, let's add the fibers. Tiny little fibrils first. Take care out. Catch you next stream or whatever. Obviously, this will be on YouTube for posterity afterwards. Yeah, thin gauze strip could possibly work. You might not even need anything that is terribly fancy. Just something to obscure the light. That's the only thing. Let's get these fibrils in here. If these guys dry and retain their configuration very well, this is going to be a perfect effect. The other fear is that when you hit them with wood stain, will they start to slacken again? But we're going to find that out. Tell that is batting. I did not know that. I need that to be goobery. Extensive piece down here. There. Woo! Prototyping, la la la. Darn right. I'm really curious to see if this manages to maintain all these bits overnight and potentially despite the shrinkage that I anticipate on the balloon. Very, very curious to see that raw cotton. Yep, it's raw cotton. Okay. It's not raw cotton, that's batting, damn it, but it'll still work. Let's get fibrils in there. That and this with all our tricks, we're making Christmas time. Did I use up all my cotton? Thank you. Starting to wonder. See how well those hold up when the balloon pops. It's Christmas time. It's time. Okay. Different batting pieces. Toss them around the top. Kind of want that a little soaked. So some serious bonding between the two. Make sure I add several layers since I have absolutely no mache under there. The whole structure has got to be the soaked cotton batting. Much easier to tear when it's dry, by God. It's Christmas time. I would love to go see a Disney Nightmare Before Christmas thing. It's about the closest thing I've got to Halloween carols, so so that's what I'll sing when I'm in the mood. Let's find any thin spots. This cotton batting wasn't cheap though. It's the only thing I didn't care for. It was expensive per yard. That was not great. It wasn't hideous, and you only use so much per orb, but it's not a price I want to go dumping in every single time. It should be a good thick piece on top. What happens if we tear the batting up really thin and then twist it? That works pretty goddamn good. That piece is going to need serious reinforcement. I know some folks who have made Hocus Pocus style books. They looked pretty good too. Of the Halloween films, I have not been particularly into that one, so that's the only reason I haven't. It's a good film. It's fun, spooky. It's just not completely my cup of tea as far as haunt stuff goes. Ah, the rubber band has made its way into the kitchen. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's start twisty stranding with raw cotton on these pieces. Yeah. Strands. If this balloon does not lose a lot of air, I'll be able to simply work from the other side up. And that will be perfect. Just need to hope that's what happens. Um, I have arguably experienced paranormal activity, but that was when I was young, and then I learned about all the ways that your brain rationalizes and gives you those feelings and sensations. So I am hence highly skeptical and dubious of paranormal type stuff. When people say, "Oh, I had this experience. Oh, I had that experience. Oh, wow," it's yes, you are alone in the dark, and your brain is going 30 million miles a second. That's normal. That's perfectly normal. So yes, you will anticipate you're going to hear things. You will anticipate you're going to see things. The wild is full of squirrels and rodents and stuff. So your sensor got tripped. Yes, yeah. It was probably a squirrel or something. If I ever find anyone who is able to give, how I put it without being offensive, solid empirical evidence of spirits, a spirit world, anything like that, then I will be far more likely to be going for it. But at present, I just don't see enough. I've been in the woods, I've been scared in the woods, I've felt uplifted by powerful thunderstorms and all that stuff, and really chimed with Thor and the Norse deities, and I love it. But I understand where those sensations are coming from. It's a lot like when you read the books about those folks who have had near-death experiences, and they tell you about the gates and the angels and all that, and then you realize that people who are put in centrifuges at NASA to test high G-forces experience that all the time. Now, hey Mo, how we doing? Nope, the channel is not dead. 'Twas merely sleeping, dormant, if you will, waiting for the advent of the live stream. And currently we are experimenting with making a witch orb, because the witch bottles have been very successful. And now we're going to find out if the witch orb is a possibility. Oof, pardon. Get some more wrenches in here. I think the back of all these witch branches are still going to be flat, which should be exceptional. A bunch of these tiny little filaments may not make the cut, but the larger structures should remain intact enough to truly exploit the wood stain. That's perfect and branchy. That looks too much like a fold, so let's hide it with some branches. Good. Whew. Yeah, I kind of feel that when you finally check off this earth, it's not much different than when you turn off a calculator. And it's off. It was on, now it's off. We toss the parts away, we recycle them, we make more things. Because that's the way nature works. You rock. But, to those folks who are discomfited by that fact, I enjoy the fact that every single atom in my body was forged inside the heart of a star. It's been around since the dawn of time. Every little piece of me. And every little piece of the world I live in was forged in the heart of a star. and has been around since the dawn of time. So, you know, you are a piece of immortal material. That's not a bad way to go, Sergeant. I think there's too many people trying to tell people what to believe. So long as people are happy with their personal beliefs, I wish them all Godspeed. Over here. It's a little goopy. We gotta add some more cotton. Too much more, though. Not that I have a choice, because it's all sticking to my hand now. I just gotta be careful, though. I don't ever want the channel to get, political or spiritual. I don't mind chatting about beliefs, but I gotta be very careful with that. I think we're a good enough crowd in here that we don't have to worry about nonsense. But this is 2018 and everybody's offended by some things. And everybody's willing to tell you just how offended they are. Branchy bits, branchy bits. Branchy bits towards the center. Add some paste. Whew. Very much like cotton candy. Yep. I wonder if I'm occluding too much of the surface, but this is a prototype, so I just keep telling myself this is have some fun, knock it out, and all the screw-ups are going to become very, very, very apparent as we continue the versions. Because this is just a 1.0. Let's see if we can get a curl in there. Yep, this is Witch Orb test number 2. This is no understructure. Because the fear I have from Witch Orb 1 is that once we do anything with it, if I try to cut parts away, there's going to be absolutely nothing there holding that stuff. It's just going to be like, I want the translucence, I want the effect, but it's all obscured by the paper mache layer. So we have no paper mache layer here to block us. None whatsoever. I want to throw some Tim Burton curls in here. I want to reinforce them. Ooh, I don't want to crack my back. My main consideration now is just structurally, how will this thing hold once that backing simply no longer exists? Once that balloon's popped, what's going to happen to all these pieces? Will they be strong enough to hold up on their own? Let's pull some of these away from this hook. And I simply don't know how well that's going to work. But that's why we're prototyping. This could all fall to snot, and then we learn something. Whew. I think I've got the main structure about as good as it's going to get. I'm going to take branchy stuff up, and then I'm going to cap the top with maybe one other piece of batting. That, or I'll just take branchy stuff all the way up. I'm at no shortage of it right now. Just put a load of raw cotton in here, so plenty of material. And I want this to be branchy. I want it to be very, very branchy. I think the batting does lay down a good initial base. I don't have to screw around with building it all out of branchy stuff with that batting there. Hello, cat. What for you, meow? Yeah, thank you. Let's do a close-up here. So here's what we have at present. What? Here's our current attempt. It's working. It's working. Meow. Meow. We're not playing just this second. You know. You know. Dad's in here. It's crafty time. We will laser later on. Until you decide you just want to stare at the laser and you don't actually want to play with the laser. That happens all the time, mind you, Mr. Little Black Cat. Wow. Oh, he's fed for the night. He knows that. He wants to play. He wants attention. I know, and I want to play with you too, but Dad's streaming for a little while more. Let's just get this branch, and glad I only have to cover the top layer of this. If I had to build it out of it, I'd go nuts. Meow. Don't know how well this is going to dry either. Since there's rubber underneath, all this water is going to have to come out through the succeeding layers of cotton. I have two cats too. One likes to play, the other one likes to nap. So, Majesty must be napping right now, and that's why some Hane is in here meowing at us. Time we got? It's 4:30. Okay. Hi, hello, cat. I hear you. I see you. Alright, so we have a few more spots. Then we're gonna stop. Oh, that's not good. That's too low. We almost have pop. That would have rattled my brains. Yeah, I agree. They're two of a kind. Now built on the same techniques in any rate. Let's try this batting twist. See if that's... Yeah, that's fine. Let's get a little bit more cotton. Touch the field of cotton. I wish this was all done. Kind of pieces of batting saturated. That was an 80s commercial, if I remember right. Alright, let's see if this speeds up the branchy effect. I'm tired of doing them out of raw cotton. It takes forever. The whole point of this was to see if we could find a faster way using the batting. Okay. Just a tiny bit. Alright, give me back batting strips. And cut them in half at points. Get them twisted, get them on. Alright, they seem to form twists for branchy bits more readily. It's a lot easier. I don't have to pull the cotton pieces apart. Well, the great thing about even in a learning process mode is that it's almost impossible to screw it up, per se. Almost impossible. If there's a way to do it, I'll find it, but you really got to be trying to farkle this. Doing these out of batting is a lot faster. Okay, let's finish up. There's a piece of batting. I was going to say it's finished with the last little bit of raw cotton, but we still have batting pieces. So it's large batting pieces for coverage, batting strips for branchy twists, can't twist them too much or they start to unravel. Missing one section right there. Tomorrow we'll work out from the bottom to complete the orb. Then we'll ponder the angsty problem of how, in heaven's name, do you reapply a translucent exterior to it? Alright, close enough. That's all branchy, that's a hook. That's set there. I'm not going to fiber this too much. It's rather heavy. Let's hope it doesn't lose too much air overnight. Let's put a small wad of just fluffed and strung cotton as a cap on the top so it blends into something. Just finds pieces. Blend it. Let's be proactive and give the whole thing a quick dab over, paste. Yep, let's get that face up. Let's make sure all the bits are sticking to it. Let's get this dab over, paste. Dab over, paste. Paste. See how well that dries. That might even take for flip all ever and a half to dry up, but I don't want to screw with it more. This piece here is too long still. In fact, let's just pull that off, connect that up. Pray it stays together. Let's angle that. Let's curl this. Come on. Oh, no wonder it's a batting twist. That's why it's not working for crap. Well, let's just link them up. This raw cotton to seal the deal. Raw cotton. Those are linked. Shouldn't go anywhere. Whew. Alright, that's where we're stopping on that. My big fear is that if I let it dry too much and come back in the morning, pieces are going to start pulling off to the side. It'll take a while to moisten them up and bend them back in. But top secure. So, good stuff. Alright, Raz Doc. I doubt I'm going to pop it tomorrow, but I'm going to try to finish the opposite side framework and then find out what's what. The toughest part is going to be making an internal lighting chamber with correct translucents all the way around and still being able to get the battery on there. You may have to have kind of a hang down for the battery, and it might be a miserable flippin' nightmare to stick the lights in there. So lots of problems await us on this project. Lots of problems. Read through the chat. Mother-in-law squirrel apart. Good luck surviving that one. Oh, I have no doubt I will. Come hell or high water, there's always try to find a way to make a translucent sphere with the lighting and everything in it already, and then just decorate the outside. That won't be hard at all. It'll be a much easier prospect. Cool. Alright, so that one is... This one's done and drying. This one's done and drying. That one's done and falling. Still have some stuff left, so let's grab the other proto orb. And missing another container to rest it in. Ooh! That material might work for an internal thing. That could work. Yeah, I'm also wondering if you made a paper mache orb. Yeah. See, and if you found some way to put a release material between the two layers, then you could pull chunks of the orb out. But that still wouldn't be optimal. I'm just going to use up the last of this cotton I've got here on the secondary, the primary / secondary experimental orb. And we'll call it a night. Actually, if you cut away so also thinking if you cut away your pieces and then you put in your transparency, or cut away your pieces, put in your lights and put in your translucent pieces, put in your lights and your battery, and then take the filaments and start doing the outside. Then slap on your wood stain, and it's done. It really just matters what you use as a translucent material. Let's hope, Sergeant. Let's hope. If by the fun part you mean me sitting here pounding my head against this crafting table, you may be right. That may be coming soon. Oh dear. No, that's batting. I can just go right on there. Either way, this project is going to teach us a lot of things. A lot of things. I'm just wondering what I can do with this if I don't like it. Because I'm already anticipating right now the flaws in its design are going to make it hyper problematic. But on the plus side, tomorrow we get to add the wood stain to the bottle. That's going to be easy. Damn right. Projects are purified through whoops. And craps. You know, if anything, I should not be adding this cotton to a project I'm pretty sure is going to be a screw up. I should be adding this cotton to a project that I know is going to be awesome. Not that much left. Whew. This feels like batting. Tiny little piece of batting. You know, the batting would do great for this section down here, speeding that up. Great, and I do mean great at that. So there's another positive use of the batting that was discovered. If you made a smoke bomb out of this stuff, you would have enough smoke to make a sizable building disappear. Damn. Kinda it does, yeah. Turn up the oven underneath it. Boom! Project's done. I think this is batting as well. Yeah, that's okay. There. Excellent. Is this batting? No, this is not batting. It's good because this needs another fumble. Excellent. Anything else? Yep, a couple more little wisps. I would like to use. Looks great. One more piece. On the side of the wood burning section. A little more to the outside. Twist in. That's it, except for this half dried out piece, which is up here, that I am not going to use. Alright. Let's mix up the stuff that's a little too thin. Mix it with the stuff that's just right. Hopefully that will make one full container of paste. If I don't like it, I'll just add some flour to it. Awesome sauce. Yeah. Yep, that would be the thing to do. Let me screw around with the orbs for a while. Still love the concept of the orbs. I think they're absolutely going to be wonderful, no matter what. I think I know some ways to do them. I just don't know how well they're going to work out. And the thing that terrifies me is putting on that last piece of whatever translucency I decide upon. It's going to be annoying as hell. Maybe the first step of the project is to make a translucent orb to start with, and then add all the embellishments onto that. Take some milk jug plastic, or get yourself a sphere, take some milk jug plastic, heat it up, form it on the sphere, put the lights in, put the batteries in, and then start going on everything else. So, sorry. Hopefully that's not continuing. Give me a shot if it is, and I'll pull that camera out of the path of the fan. It's the only thing I can think of that would be doing it. Woo-hoo. Alright, I am not going to pick all the gluey bits off my hands because that's stupid. I'm just going to wash my hands and they're all going to come off anyway. That's the only way to go. Okay, good. Thank God. Well, folks, the sky outside is beginning to lighten, and that means I need to get back to my coffin. I love picking this stuff off my hands. Feels good, like mobility is happening. So I still need to get back to my coffin. So I will catch you all on the next stream. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I will probably definitely be streaming that night because I really want to see how all this turns out. Really, really want to see. And then we'll figure it out. So thank you for coming by. Thank you for sticking it out. Thank you for keeping me company. And I will catch you all on the next haunting crafting stream. Good night. If you hear a crash, I have tripped and killed myself. Come on, Furball. Oh.